And I'm going to do my all-time Alabama team. Okay. Criteria as follows.
Okay.
Only can have one coach. No OC, no DC. As far as the quarterback position, as you already put out there, one quarterback. O-line, I only need 5 linemen. D-line, 5 linemen. As far as I haven't made a decision on whether it's going to be a 4-3-3-4, but I'm going to talk it out as I talk it out to you. And as far as my backfield, I'm going to have 2 running backs, but I don't know whether it's going to be I formation or whether it's going to be split back. Here we go. As far as my quarterback, I have to go on and say Pennsylvania's own Joe Willie Namath. No, I wasn't born at that time, but hey, I have to go and go with Joe Willie Namath as far as my quarterback. As far as at the running back position, initially I had 2, but as I'm talking it out, Mark, I'm going to stick with 1. And that one will be Derrick Henry. That'll be my running back. As far as my wide receivers are concerned, very, very, it was hard pressed. But I'm going to go with 2. One I would have to say prisoner of the moment. And then one I would have to say is the one who got this started back in 2009, or part of that 2009 class. And that is Julio Jones and Devontae Smith.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my O-line is concerned, I haven't filled out those other 2 spots, but maybe I can fill them out as I talk them out. And that's Baumhauer, Hannah, Stevenson, and I'm going to say Cam Robinson, which I say with gritted teeth, as well as that 5th spot, I'm going to say Jedrick Wills.
Mm.
I think that would have been, 2 years ago?
Sure.
As far as my tight end, Ozzie Newsome. As far as my D-line is concerned, just like a bride, hey, a little something old and something new. As far as on the old side, as far as those that led, the 2 guys that led Stallings as far as his national championship, that's Curry and Copeland. And then as far as the new part would be Allen, as far as Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne. Ooh, linebackers. This was also, difficult. Off the top, I would have to say Derek Thomas and Cornelius Bennett. And if I'm going to go 3-4 look, it would be Reuben Foster, C.J. Mosley. Then as far as my secondary, I'm kind of stuck, but off the top, I would say Fitzpatrick and Eddie Jackson. Then if I would go back a little bit older school, I would be more so Jeremiah Castille. Would be Van Tippett. Oh, and pardon me, I would be remiss if I didn't say punter, and that would be J.K. Scott. And that's the best I could do, Mark. The best I could do.
Okay. That's almost an impossible task, of course. So you did a nice job. I didn't catch any glaring misses there. You could always serve up. And it's difficult, especially once you get into a certain, depending on your vantage point, depending on your age and your perspective of where football changed and where you truly believe that it's difficult to consider guys from the 20s and 30s and 40s. You know, guys like Don Hudson is an all-time NFL legend who played at Alabama, and you'll see him on lists. So it's you're obviously separating those players, and they're just difficult to rate and evaluate. Trying to think, you took it to a difficult place because you only went with 1 running back. You didn't even give yourself 2 running backs.
That's why it was hard. That's why I was had a little bit of difficulty because initially, Mark, I went for as far as my second back was going to be Mark Ingram.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But then if I did that, Mark, it would have to be a split back. I couldn't do the I formation, correct?
Well, you only went with 2 wide receivers.
Okay. Because I was just trying to figure as far as I couldn't see, I couldn't make a decision as far as who would be that front back as far as in the eye. So it would definitely have to be as far as a split back. So yeah, Mark Ingram will be the other one. I mean, it's kind of difficult because I could have possibly gone, Trent Richardson. God dog, I can't think of the young man from my hometown. The guy that caught the doggone touchdown in the flat versus LSU and Baton Rouge. I can't think of the young man's name.
T.J. Yeldon?
Well, yes, just simply because of, it's T.J. Yeldon. That's it. That's it. That's his boy TJ. Yeah, he's from Daffin. That's about maybe, I guess about 8 minutes from my hometown. So, but then as far as definitely, as far as the first two, I don't think we could go wrong. Excuse me, with Ingram as well as Henry at the I guess dual back position, for lack of a better way to say it.
Yeah. I'm going to go back about as far as I can remember. Well, this is before my time, Johnny Musso. And then after that, wow. Sherman Williams, you mentioned Trent Richardson, Glenn Coffey. Yeah, the backfield's been loaded, obviously, since Saban took over. Cornelius Bennett came across my mind at linebacker as a possibility.
Well, I didn't forget Biscuit now. That was the first two, Cornelius Bennett.
And you mentioned him. Okay, my bad. Okay. All right. Yeah, when you mentioned that last week, I got to tell you, Kevin, I didn't dismiss that request. I've been mulling that in my brain of the best way to do that, because I just know for me to do that for every significant program, like if I was going to do that along the lines of Texas, Alabama, Ohio State on down the line, that I could do it myself, or we could have a really fun discussion debate if I brought on 3 or 4 Texas guys, 3 or 4 Alabama guys, etc., and we kind of hashed it out and debated, and then got everyone involved with some kind of a vote.
Who would be the other 4 linemen? Because I was stuck when it came to the Buckeyes as far as that O-line.
Oh, the offensive line at Ohio State. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got
Pace. Is that Lachey? Was it Lachey?
Jim Lachey in the mid 80s. Jim Lachey had a huge career in the NFL as well. Corey Stringer had a big NFL. Well, he would have had a big NFL career. He got off to a great start, and he was tragically cut down with the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, in training camp. Jim Stillwagon was an award winner, Lombardi Award winner in the early 70s. So was Chris Ward in the 76, 77, 78 range. You've got Nick Mangold at center, had a tremendous NFL career that just ended. I don't think he's still playing with the Jets, but he was several time an All-Pro. Nick Mangold from the mid 2000s. LaCharles Bentley was a great offensive lineman for Ohio State. If we want to go way back to an NFL Pro Football Hall of Famer, Jim Parker from the 50s, and also Lou Groza, who has the Groza Award, but he actually was a starting offensive lineman at Ohio State, an extremely good one.